Okay, I want to go through graphical databases. This is not in the book. This is about the calculator. They are called graphical databases. And I also want to talk to you a little bit about tables on the calculator. We've done tables before, but a little bit of review. First, on graphical databases. When you do the whole purpose for a graphical database, say you're at home, you're working on a problem, you've got it all graphed, you've input the equation, you've set the window, and you're stuck, or you want to show it to somebody else, you want to show it to me and say, I have a question about this, but you don't want to wipe everything out and go on to the next problem. Okay? There's a way to store that, okay, and then you could bring it back the next day and ask me a question. Okay? So, let's put in a graph. Okay? And say I just put in, let's do like a negative 5x. I'm going to do a negative 5x to the fifth plus 7x to the fourth. I'm just making up one. Plus 2x minus 10. Okay? Okay, I put in the equation, and then...
7x.
Hello? Hello? Yes. Okay, so take the equation. Let's get a graph. If you do zoom 6, do we get anything?
Yeah.
But it's not a complete graph, so let's change the window. Looks like we need to change our y min, or y max, y min. Let's go down to negative 20. Get enough? Yep, so you get a graph. And we don't need all the x min, x max, so let's go to like maybe negative 4 to 4. So change your x min to negative 4, change your x max to 4, and let's change that y scale maybe to 2. Just so I'm giving you a different window.
What is the scale part mean?
That changes the tick marks, the spacing of your tick marks. Okay? Okay, so you've got a graph. We've changed the graph. We've changed the windows. Now, let's say I still want to go on. I want to do other things. I want to change this window. I want to save this window. I want to save this graph. I want to be able to bring it back and ask a question tomorrow. Okay, so right above, and we have not used this one, right above the program key is second function draw. Okay, so do second function draw. Okay, and then you're going to right arrow over to store. You need to right arrow over twice to store, and then when it says store, go down to where it says store GDB, store a graphical database. Okay, so you store. Now, you can number your graphical databases. So I'm going to give it the number 1. Okay, and then press enter. Done. Okay, now go back, clear out your equation. Okay, change the window to zoom. Let's go zoom decimal. Okay, so we've changed the window. Okay, now you go ahead and you work on the other problems you have on your homework. Okay, you come back tomorrow and you say, Miss Elliott, I had a question on this. Okay, so you go back to the home screen, do second function draw, right above the program, right arrow over to store, and this time you need to recall your graphical database. So recall, and you have to tell it which one to recall, GDB1. Okay, now graph it. Okay, and there it is. It's back. That's nice. Okay?
So, when you suggest, say we're on a problem, and that's the equation, like off of that, and graphical database one.
Yeah, and then you can come back and ask about it. Okay? Make sense? Okay, so, yep. Okay, so you're going to input your equations. You're going to set your mode, might be parametric mode that you're working in. You're going to change your viewing window. You're going to get everything set the way you want it. And then something happens and you have a question on it. And you want to ask me about it. But you still want to go on and work on your homework. Okay? So you store it. So you do second function draw. And that is actually right above the program key. And if it's a key, I usually circle it. And then you're going to right arrow over twice to store. Okay? And then you're going to pick number 3 or go down to number 3, and that's store the GDB, a graphical database. Okay? And then you have to press enter there for that to register. And then you've got to give it a number. Okay? Okay, and I assigned it a number. Okay, and then it's in there. Then you can clear out the equation. You can clear out the window. Work on your homework. Okay. Then the next day, to retrieve a graphical database. Okay, you still do second function draw. We really have not done anything with draw. Draw is like, it has some of like the old turtle graphics where it's pin up, pin down. You can do some things on there with draw. You still right arrow over twice to store, but this time you're going to pick number 4, and that's the recall the GDB, the graphical database, and then you probably have to press enter, and then you have to tell it which number we're going to recall the graphical database 1. Okay, now how do you delete them? Okay, because I don't want the one in there that I just did. Okay, so to delete a GDB, okay, it's second function min. And remember, that's above the plus sign. Okay, so let's go second function min. Okay, and then do memory management delete, number 2. Okay, and then you got to scroll down to, I think it's number 9. GDB. 9 is the graphical databases. Okay, and press enter. And I have 2 in there. Okay. Now, one of mine is protected. Okay. You see that little asterisk? I've archived that so that I don't go in and delete it. Okay. So that means that's something that I've saved. Okay. So then I would go down to the one I just did and just delete it. Okay. And it's gone. Okay. And just press the delete key. Did it say archive it? Yep. Then it's archived. Okay. Yep. Okay. So that's a little bit on graphical databases. There's a lot on your calculator that we have not covered, but that's one that if you're working on homework in Calc, a lot of times you might have a question and you want to save the window, you want to save the mode and the settings. Okay. So you can get back to it. Okay, the other thing, as you're doing tables on the homework, let's go in and put in just a basic equation. Put in like 4x to the third minus 2x squared. That's good enough. Okay, and let's look at a table. Remember, you can do second function table set. Okay, and on the second function table set, let's start this table at 0 and count by ones. Okay, and if I do right above the graph key, do second function table. Okay, it fills in both sides of this because it's on auto. Okay, go back to second function table set. Start at 0, and this time change the independent variable to ask. Okay, you have to press enter for it to register. Okay, now go to the table. Okay, now here's where a lot of times the author is going to give you a specific table the author might say, okay, I want you to do this table. I want 0.1, I want 0.01, I want 0.001. Okay, well, you're not counting by the same increment each time, so ask will allow you to do that. So you could put in 0.1, press enter, gives you the answer. Put in 0.01, press enter. Okay, and then when it's going like this one, it's going -2e. That's like -2 times 10 to the -4th power. Okay, and if I did like 0.001, but it allows you to type in different values for the x. Okay, so that's under second function. Okay, it's on your second function table set, and it's on the independent. If you want to be able to type in, different values in for x, then change this to ask. Okay, if we went auto on this one and ask on this one, what does that do? Okay. Okay, it does not show you the other side until you press enter. Okay, and then when you press enter, then it will give you the values. Okay, so if you want the y value, this one, the independent variable, this is your x, and the other one, the dependent, if you go the dependent one, that's controlling the y. If you want to be able to enter one at a time on the y, you would do ask. Most of the time I don't do that one, okay? But this one you need, because you need to be able to input different values for x, okay? Okay, now I'm going to give you time to work on homework.